Hi everyone, did you hear that? Um, I was gonna cough and then I don't know. I just pressed record, but it passed. Um, so I'm gonna do a reading and I'll start pulling out the cards. Again, I'm using the Yokai Tarot. I feel like there's gonna be like a growth spurt or type of growing period. I've seen 555 a couple of times today. So the clock, 555, and then two cars had 555 on them. And something about like the external environment, especially. And there's this song that I have been listening to um recently, and it's I do, and then like in parentheses, cherish you. It's an older song. It's on um one of my playlists. It's like a throwback, and then right now there's like the song What Do You Want From Me? And it kind of feels like energy that pushed and then is trying to pull back, um, pull you back in a way. Or like maybe somebody walked away from you, and then it's energy of like realizing that was maybe the spur of the moment, or they did that at a spite, or it was like a bite, there was a bite to it or a sting to it to get like maybe a reaction, or to intentionally try to hurt you, to show you like maybe a type of dominance. Um, but regardless of the reason, the action was still there, and it just feels like there's wanting to pull you back to them. And this could be like a situation too. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but I just feel like energy trying to pull you in. Um, and it could also be energy of maybe you liked somebody for a while and maybe you waited for them, and then after a while, uh, it was like I should probably think about myself and my life and where I'm headed. So I'm gonna start moving forward. And I feel like there's like check-ins on energy to make sure like you're still into them, or like where you are. So there could be some people or a person keeping an eye on things. So those are like specific scenarios. It could be situations too in life where you've gotten out of those situations or got that was like part of the past, and now with the expansion there's something else that is just in your face that keeps like drawing you in, and it could be like an idea that just keeps coming to mind. And it's one of those things. I'm also gonna use the Ukiyo tarot, where you're thinking it's never gonna happen, so what's the point? Or like it's just another one of those like thoughts or dreams, but maybe I'm not gonna put energy towards it because I feel like it's just not something that's tangible. But it just feels like energy that is sucking you in. So whatever direction, and it could also be both too, it could be multiple. Like one part of it is your past being like, come back to this side of your life where you didn't have certain things and it wasn't fulfilling, and it honestly felt like you're putting the effort in and then it wasn't getting reciprocated. Or um maybe you even stood up for yourself and the consequences of that, not saying that they were bad, is that the opposite energy, or like in the situation you were kind of um it almost feels like being attacked because of you sticking up for yourself. um but it was either that or just being like submissive to the situation, and the cards just like fell out of my hand, which doesn't usually happen. There was a, a couple from the pile, but the card that was at the top of the pile that fell was the Knight of Pentacles, and I didn't turn over the other cards. So it's almost like after all this time, um, it just feels like energy that kind of feels reserved. So depending on where you want to go with it, if you want to go back to certain energies, I'm not going to be the judge of that. Like you want to do certain things. Um, there could be certain lessons or reasons or a way of why you want to do them or what your heart's feeling like. So I'm not going to be saying like you should definitely shouldn't do that or you should do this because I'm not you. So um but I also feel like catapulting energy, because I have a very specific thing. I have a figurine, and I just got it from well, it came from Japan, and I've been looking for this figure because it's not the easiest one to find out of the collection that I wanted. So, or the figurine from the collection that I wanted. So, it's Hirono, the character, shooting out of the cannon, and it's like what? But I've had this energy before where there's not really that much warning, but it feels like the universe just like throws you into a new stage of life. And it could be that you actually passed, and maybe when you stood up for yourself, and you didn't let you didn't lose yourself in the process in a way where just because maybe a person that you wanted to be in a relationship or like in a situation like a work situation where they wanted you to do something and it just didn't seem like it um aligned with the morality that you have. um it was the opposite of maybe your moral compass, the direction of your moral compass. So, um, maybe that was like the universe being like, okay, you passed, now go all the way over here. So it seems like a big type of change. And the Knight of Pentacles also gives the indication of not really straying away. So there could be that, in a way, in the Knight of Pentacles way, a trust fall because it's earth energy. So it's one that kind of stays loyal to the path that they're on, to the job that they do. Even if they do change jobs in life, there's this specific, like, again, morality, like, or virtues that they go by that um it's not really something that they move away from easily. But mentally, it is an adjustment. There are more archetypes. So the Knight of Wands does come out here too. So that could be the driving energy here. And I'm also getting like it could be another person that just really motivates the situation, regardless of how they're motivating it. Because it could be a person that's supportive, but it could also be a situation where, again, if somebody tried to like maybe bully you or tried to make you do something that didn't align with you, or didn't seem, that just seemed off, um there's like the hidden type of motivation from it, like, I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna do better and I'm gonna still keep on. And there is like the do better, even if maybe it wasn't your fault. There's still like the good-hearted nature of it all, where like you still kind of feel bad about the whole thing, and it's honestly kind of moving away or like moving forward from that mentality. And then after that is the Three of Cups, being able to align with people that actually align with you. So it does open up that type of gateway. Um, Big one is the Major Arcana Emperor. Could be the fire energy too. Well, it embodies the kings, and we have knights here so far, but it seems like they're moving up too. So they're kind of close to a type of graduation, if you will, from knights to kings. And there's like page, knight, queen, and kings. And I'll turn over the other cards. And these like energies just align so well together. Oh my god, it's crazy. Because there's the threshold, literal threshold of like an opening, because it reminds me of the fairy tool that I had, that I found in the forest, that I felt like I was led to. It was a long time ago when I was living in New England, and they resembled antlers in a way. And then it was like the opening to the fairy world. And it just seems like there's that opening, like the threshold, like there's something that was surpassed or that exceeded expectation. And then a time to walk alone. So not everyone and everything is like gonna be with you with this change up. And maybe that was like the last resort of like, are you coming with me or are you not coming with me? And that could have been like the argument of it all. Like, um, maybe they didn't pass the test of whether or not they were coming with you in the next part of life. Because you have the bringer of change. So it could have been like that type of dynamic too, because there aren't many males in this deck. And then the Sentinel, so it can be like a protective card too, from things in life that just weren't meant to move forward. And I'm not saying that like, well, maybe you could cross paths with them again, or like certain situations, but It seems like you passed though, and that's honestly what matters at this point. It's not going to be the most comfortable in the beginning, and um because maybe it was super drastic. It kind of felt like it was maybe rash or rushed. Um because you were literally there, and then there was like maybe the last test of or at least for this cycle of um a random argument that could have popped up or a situation in general, and then seeing how both of you guys or like the situation would be and how you would react in the situation. And it doesn't feel like, of course you might like being alone too, but then there's the other side of like maybe you had something in your life or you had someone in your life for a period of time, and um it's just kind of a shocker that they didn't pass the test of this phase. And there's a little bit of like devastation there, and internalizing and working through those things, because maybe walking alone means a part of it of um, stuff is just really stimulating, right, like overly stimulating right now. I just want to kind of um, be zen and try to align myself again before going back out to doing those things. But the Three of Cups is a good indication of um, people aligning with you, like heart to heart type of thing. And it really does show, like the Nine of Swords. It just seems like maybe your environment or maybe like the people in your life were saying, like, that was not right. That was so like it that was like really inappropriate, or like there were certain things that kind of felt like there was injustice there. Um, I feel like there was like energy not only with you but people around you too. Like they could feel it where there's something that just didn't align, or something that just was so off, or like um not right about what went down. Um so I feel like there could have been bad blood type of thing, unfortunately, and then uh but unfortunately for them too, it kind of felt like they met with your disdain, because you're not you just don't like walk in and then you destroy somebody's house, or in a way, or like try to destroy what they worked hard on building. It doesn't really work well in life when you do that, especially when that house was like um genuinely built, and there wasn't it wasn't something that was built out of like carelessness. So I feel like there was something where, because it kind of feels like energy of maybe them having maybe their like group or something tried to point guns at you, and then at the end everything just turns on them, like the energy just turns, because there is a sense of standing your ground, and it like builds you up. Like I said, there was a type of motivation, especially from the King of Wands, that really catapulted this energy, because the future is the Strength card. Major Arcana is Strength. And it could have been like energy that was intentional too. There it could have taken a good amount of energy just to get things in a good place, because in the past it was the Knight of Wands, where maybe there was like it kind of felt like stubborn energy, but you put something to rest because the overall energy is the Ten of Swords, where even if you didn't start the argument or you didn't start whatever it was, like you were there to finish it. And that's what I feel like with the Nine of Wands. It felt um like fatigue from that. The obstacle's still the Six of Wands. Um Feeling like even though you're reaching this threshold, in a way it feels a little wrong because again, like this could have been people or situations that you thought were maybe the Three of Cups, and in the end, it's always when maybe you tell somebody no, or something is maybe like they don't get what they want. That's when they show their true colors. It's not when they're like everything is all smooth sailing. Um, so somebody was there to, well, they revealed themselves when they couldn't get what they wanted. And there was the Knight of Wands, so they could have been maybe the Knight of Wands, but you got promoted to like not only the King of Wands, there's the Emperor card. That they thought that they were gonna like win that prize, but in the end, because you didn't try to destroy everyone around you to get what you wanted, you were able to elevate yourself in life in different aspects. Even even spiritually too, because you have the wands there. So I'm gonna pull out a couple more cards and then I'll end the reading. And it's like amazing how honestly like the energy kind of feels like fatigued because I feel like I'm like fatigued for this reading, but as the reading is going, it feels like the energy is picking up as if again the Knight of Wands, the card that just keeps going even if it feels like the battery is running low, you just trying to like soldier on with it. Um but it feels like energy that you can handle because it feels like something that needs to be done. And it's like an everyday card, so with the minor arcana, so it feels like energy that seems familiar too. And it's an interesting thing where sometimes the next stage isn't always the most maybe revealing or isn't the most like drastic. I do feel like that sorry, again with um feeling like the cough in the beginning. I'm not sick or anything and I don't have allergies. But sometimes like when I guess when my mouth is getting dry, then I'm gonna start getting itchy. So one second. And I currently live in the desert, so the air is definitely dry here. As it gets hotter. So I feel like life is trying to get yourself to be fully energized and immersed and to get the proper sleep or rejuvenation or self-care, because self-care is also important to really get your mind going. You have delight here to enjoy yourself, and again with self-care, and you also have transcendence too, to even go with the threshold card and the bringer of change. going above and beyond, there's just something that it feels like a reward. And one of the rewards, I would say one of the biggest ones, is like after working hard because of the Nine of Wands, um, and not giving up on yourself or what you were doing, like with the Knight of Pentacles, then it led to a restoration card for yourself. And sometimes, again, it's inconspicuous with the next phase, and it could just be like one of the biggest things is to finally get the rest that you were looking for. Because some people might be like, that's not much of a reward. But if you're in that, your past energy is like practically falling asleep or being exhausted from trying to fight something or to def- uh, really build something and to use the strength properly, but to try to sustain it without burning yourself out. Um, Psychologically, there's a term, or like in psychology, there's a term called hardiness. And that's one of the things where you're making it opportunistic other than trying to do something and burning yourself out in life. So you have the gift of connection. I really feel like it goes with the Three of Cups. And even if stuff tries to get to you, I was thinking about pulling another card, but this really trumps like the cards because arguably not too much that a lot of people consider the Sun as the best card in the deck. Because you also have the Devil here too, but no matter like the direction of how you're seeing or like how it falls, the Sun is still the Sun. Even if like the Devil card is there, the Sun is still the Sun. So it like overpowers it. And I really feel like that's like one of the strongest messages. So, and then rituals and offerings. So this could be something that um after everything, there's just such a sense of being thankful for things. And I was watching a video of um one of the videos where it was saying how this person was able to be a successful. It was like a Japanese business person, and the person was saying like every day in their mind constantly saying like thank you, and it really changes the mentality. And just to say it briefly, it's like a sense of optimism, or like even before you eat, thanking and showing like the gratitude and um of how beautiful life could be. So um it is like giving reverence to things in life and not taking it for granted. I feel like that's like one of the biggest things of again why the energy and why your energy is able to surpass or like to make it or to go to the next stage in life, because um it's kind of, it feels like almost the underdog energy where you get underestimated but you don't give up on yourself and you keep going. And no matter how many times life tries to bring you down, you feel, or you find the things in life to be thankful for. And then knowing those difficulties, you're not like being pompous, and you continue to be kind, and then grow. And that type of energy, it goes a long way. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.